Hey guys, what's up? It's Sidekick Lefty, and today I wanted to try and do something a little different. Sitting down here with me is Andy, someone I knew for a little bit of time. We actually started up a D&D channel, and he has been, I guess, teaching me how to use a lot of the programs in my streams for video gaming content, as well as in his own D&D streams. So I wanted to ask him a few questions about, like what advantages he has while with this knowledge and how it can actually help early streamers and or early content creators expand their horizon with the amount of options they have available without spending all the unnecessary money. So would you want to tell us a little bit about the station that you're currently running, if that's all
Yeah,
right with
sure.
you?
So we stream Friday nights on Twitch. It's Twitch TV / Orion's Armpit. That's ORIONS Armpit. It's a Beetlejuice joke. It's a Beetlejuice joke.
No, it's great. I
Uh,
love it.
anyway, so we stream a D&D game. There's DM and 4 players. We do it most Friday nights in the last couple of weeks. And I also stream just some like RimWorld and Astroneer and some just kind of chilling and fucking around kind of stuff. But yeah, I also, like you mentioned, I have a background in audio. I've been doing music on my computer since like the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, something like that.
So
So I
it's
have
like
a
a
lot
good
of
20
knowledge with
years.
the
Just
audio
about.
stuff. Yeah.
And see, to me, I feel like audio is a lot more important in a stream
Well
and or
done
in
there,
content
young
creation,
one.
because if you only
Now
hear
then,
like that
the
gameplay,
time has come to
or
show you
or
who I truly
or they can
am.
barely hear you speaking
I was-
during a video that you're trying to create, I feel as though
To
that
know
audio
Calamity
is going
Ganon's
to
truthful.
I guess what's the word, like deteriorate or deter anyone
Yeah.
who's watching it, push
That
them
princess
away
was my own
because they don't
daughter,
have that clear grasp
my
of like
dear
what you're
Zelda.
trying to say and or do. And what's the sense of
And the
them
courageous
watching you
knight
just play that
who protected her
gameplay
right up to the very
when
end.
they can either have that with some amazing
That knight
commentary,
was none other
and or
than
B,
you.
if they actually have the game, they most likely have already seen
You
it
fought
before. So
valiantly
having that audio, like,
when your fate took
I
an
think would be a
unfortunate
huge
turn.
advantage. And hell, just earlier, like what,
And
an
then
hour ago, we were fiddling
you
around
were
for
taken
like
to the
45
shrine of
minutes
resurrection.
trying to get that to
Here
work.
you now
Yeah,
stand,
yeah.
revitalized.
So yeah, well, most people are doing like other stuff while they're watching the stream game. Like, I mean, maybe if you're somebody like Shroud or Summit or somebody who's like amazing at the game, you're actually watching the gameplay. But most of it's the bullshit and the banter and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so if you have terrible audio and you're not really if the video part of it's not the primary focus, then
You're
if
hurting
it sounds
yourself.
terrible, yeah.
Yeah, you're just wasting your time. Like, you're not gonna
Yeah.
grow. Like, I mean, I've been doing this for like 4 months, and I've made thousands of mistakes. I mean, I started off on a PlayStation Pro thinking I was gonna be all right. You know what I mean? It took me forever to figure out what I really wanted to produce.
Right.
And I mean, I'm slowly picking that up, and it's wild though, because as I'm doing this, I'm watching other streamers, and I'm just looking at like what they're doing that I'm enjoying, and how can I add that or implement that to what I want to produce, whether that would be that content creation with those programs that I'm slowly trying to learn. And you guys make me feel handicapped almost every day I ask you a question. For real though, dude. Watch this video. Don't message me in 30 minutes, okay?
Right.
But like I said, it's a lot of trial and error, man. And I don't
Yeah.
know, I want to
Yeah,
help
yeah,
people out. Like I want someone to come to me and ask me for advice, versus me
Right.
trying to ask someone else. Like I want that. I don't want to just blast people my opinion and be all like rude about it. Like, no, but if you try it this way, or this might work for you too. Like, this is what we're doing. And I don't know, like having that person with that background, like you said, you had that audio, you've been toying with these things for a long time. Like, I wouldn't say in the palm of my hand, but as an asset to, helping each other out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can figure out a way to help your channel grow while you're on mine doing the exact same thing, this, all these things, I feel as though it's just for potential growth, and also to, come up with new ideas, as well as helping other people figure out what they want too. So I don't know. It's just, to me, I think it's pretty funny. But I guess I do have this weird other question though. where do you think, like, I know you haven't streamed long, but how do you feel about Facebook going to Mixer? Or Mixer turning into Facebook?
From my understanding is Facebook's a pretty terrible platform to stream on, and that it's not really meant for streaming. Like, Facebook's doing a bunch of other stuff. Streaming's not really their focus. I mean, unless there's something going on the back end that I haven't seen news of or whatever.
I don't know. I've seen.
There's a reason why Ninja and Shroud went, nah, fuck that. So.
See, I didn't know they chose not to do that. To be honest.
Yeah. The way that all went down was that they were offered. I think Ninja's was $30 million and Shroud was like $10 million to go to Mixer over the course of like 3 or 4 years or something like that. But when Mixer shut down, they don't have a platform that they can be locked into. So the way that the contract was written, they got a one-time payout and then were free agents. And Facebook made them an offer, and they were like, "Nah, dog." So,
it's not good enough.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame them. I mean, if you're bringing home like $30 million a year, or like for 5 years or whatever, like that's crazy.
Yeah, I do feel bad for those guys though, because if you look at their viewer numbers when they went from Twitch, I think like Shroud's final stream was like watched by 250,000 people or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that sounds like that's amazing, but like, is that his normal, or don't you know that?
Well, no. So that was like his average.
Okay.
Towards the end of his like Twitch run, and when he went to Mixer, those numbers were more like 15,000.
Oh.
So like less than 10%. Yeah, like less than 10% the amount of viewership. So.
Because the viewers
like as a
on
brand,
to sell it. Like that's hurt.
Yeah. So if you're like taking the money, that's one thing. But if you're trying to get the eyeballs, that if you go to a platform that no one's watching, which I guess is like the concern with going to Facebook.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, because I was also told, you know, because I actually created a Facebook account. I haven't used it. I made one post, but I'm like sitting there thinking, like, I'm looking at how many people actually use this website. Like, it's grown in about 2 years a lot, you know, but at the same time, I still feel as though more people, if they're going to want to watch that content, they're going to find it on YouTube, you know. If you're going to want to watch someone stream, you know, I mean, they might come over and check it out for a little bit, but I don't know. I feel as though I'm going to get more attention from Twitch than I would Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook might be something for somebody to look into, even if they only do it occasionally, if they had like a lot of friends or engaged in a lot of like gaming groups through Facebook, so you can kind of turn that community and connections you already have into some people that watch. But yeah, other than that, I don't ever go to Facebook to find videos to watch. Ever.
No, and I agree. Like, to me, it's just
I just never do that.
Communicate. So
Yeah.
But here's the weird
If I
thing
want to look at some memes or see like who's posting some stupid fucking opinions, then yes, that's what Facebook is for.
You want to get in a fight with a friend over some recent
yes,
events? Go to
correct,
Facebook.
correct. Yeah, trying to tell a friend that no, you shouldn't give your baby the potpourri as medicine.
No, game over. You're not
don't
blind.
drink. Yeah, that's what Facebook's for.
Dude, freaking alright, so when I did make that post onto the Facebook, because all I did was update, I said, hey everybody, how are you doing? I got a notification saying if I spent a certain amount of money, this post would be broadcasted to more people.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I now have to spend money for you to work your algorithm on a what?
Right.
Nah,
yes.
Dude.
So like
that's wild.
I do use Facebook to I have a page for our game night that I post like when early in the day when game nights are gonna happen, like, hey, this is when we're kind of planning on doing it, like set up an event.
Yeah, you have like group chat and stuff like that, like a certain
Yeah. So I use Facebook for that sort of stuff, but yes, like you said, Facebook is constantly asking for my money to show it to more people, and like that's not really.
No, see, and I agree too, because if you already have that social network, and if you got a bunch of friends in different crowds, you can already throw that out there. And Twitter, I feel as though is like amazing for that already. So why are you using Facebook for it? You know, like, I don't know. I've had luck on different websites at different times, and I feel as though as long as you can figure out when the traffic area is or when you're going to get the most attention, then you know that should be where you're dropping in those links. But
Well, as it exists now, YouTube is really the only place that's really good at like putting new content in front of different people. You know, like the recommended list that's
oh my
on
God,
the side
it's
of
amazing.
everything. Like
Yeah.
every video that you watch is going to show you what is it, like 15 or 20 of them now, I think. It's at least 10. The recommended list is at least 10. So it's the whole thing is built to keep you watching and keep getting the ads.
Yeah, it's
You know,
like
keep
that's
having to watch all the ads on the YouTube. Yeah, so it's great for like showing to if you have no community you're already trying to
capitalize on.
Yeah. It's great at finding new people. I am just starting to put stuff on YouTube now. The thing with YouTube is that people don't. If you're doing the Twitch thing, people don't just. Very few people will watch like just a VOD. You know, like
No,
I'm just gonna straight copy my 2-hour stream directly to YouTube.
Yeah,
You'll get some views, but that's not. You almost have to
don't
do
do
the
that.
whole YouTube type. Yeah, you have to do like the YouTube content.
My
to
last
YouTube
video,
work.
actually, I talked about that. I was like, I feel as though that was a waste of time because I'm like, all right, so I'm on Twitch, I'm gonna go stream, let's say the last game I was on, what was it, Dragon Quest, right? Had a few people on there, had a good time. And to me, if I would upload that video to YouTube, right, and then broadcast it right after I played or like a day later, why in the world would people come to my Twitch to see what they're already watching on my YouTube? Does that make sense?
Well,
like to me, it's just
right.
like, why would I do that when I know 2 hours from after you're done, I can just watch it then anyway with a notification. You know what I mean? Like to me, it feels like you're contradicting your own growth. You're not pulling in.
And then Twitch is also it's all about the interaction. You know, the interacting with your chat and however that feedback, whether it's just like what you're talking about while you're playing, or whether some guys have the whole. It was like the Twitch plays Pokemon, that kind of stuff, where it's like the chat controls things. There's a whole extension for RimWorld that somehow does Twitch chat integration. Yeah, so like no one's gonna watch you play a video game. Like it's cool to go to a friend's house and watch him play a video game when you're sitting next to each other and talking. But, like you're not gonna. I don't want you to ever send me a DVD of like your nights gaming. Like.
Well, see, the thing is, like, I feel as though when you're interacting with your chat, right, at that time, like, you can see, what these people are saying, and your conversations are going to be more interactive on the time that the content's happening. Period.
Right.
So when I go back and I rewatch what's going on, and, so-and-so who's in front of the camera is saying all this wild stuff, and now I got to sit back and rewatch what's going on, and, like, to me, I feel like that's too much work.
Yeah.
That's entirely too much work. Nah, dude. Like, if you can figure out a stream schedule that works around you, and that works around the people that are actually going to watch it, and you found that kind of niche. But I feel as though you're doing twice the amount of work, and you're getting less revenue if you just upload what you post. And I actually had that conversation several times this week with people, and a lot of them, like even content creators and small streamers that I know, like completely agreed, like that, like you're right, like maybe I should change out what I'm doing too, So
yeah, I need to do more work with this, but I just found out that there's a command in the Twitch chat. Like, so if you're watching your own stream or you're live streaming, you can do a like /marker, I believe is what the command is, and it like does a timestamp note, which then makes it easier for you. Like, so say you're like our D&D game. We're playing a D&D game. If something like really cool happens, or like some joke in the bullshit, banter that's going on. Because our
I get it, man.
D&D game is, it goes off the rails pretty quick. But so, if you do that kind of thing, then you can kind of know where funny clips and stuff are, and that's more of what YouTube is kind of for.
Right, because
show me the cut all the bullshit out and just show me the funny parts.
Highlights, yeah.
Yeah, like for gaming, perfect example I would point to is like Soviet Womble. If you've ever watched any of his like DayZ bullshitteries, but he streams and he plays with his friends all the time, and they're always kind of joking around, and he just cuts a 10-minute video of like the past 2 months funniest 10 minutes worth of shit, and they get, 4 or 5 million views.
Yeah, I can believe it, because if it's like that good, because a 2-hour stream, it's not all going to be great content. I'm having that issue too, and that's why I've been dropping mine down a little bit. Like, it's hard to keep that up. Like, it's exhausting. But if you could, like, let's say we stream once a week, right? Well, your channel does with the D&D thing. So, and I know you brought this up to me. We're like, all right, well, tell me what part you enjoyed the most. Write that.
Right. That's what I was.
Send it. To
that's what I was getting at. Was that I have been just throwing the full games onto YouTube because it's real easy.
Yeah.
But what I want to start doing is to have a more like a campaign, because we just started a new we are going to be starting a new campaign. So yeah, to have like a campaign highlights, campaign summary kind of a thing, rather than the straight gameplay. So whether it's I'm recounting like what happened, or have everybody all my players send in me, even just shot on their phone like a little 30-second, like what was your favorite part, or act out your favorite section or funny thing or whatever, and cut that into kind of like a little 5 or like a little 7 or 10 minute video. And if people think that those stories and these jokes and this stuff is funny, then they'll come and find our game.
And I agree too, because then it gives someone to look forward to. Like, all right, so you say, obviously we're going to have to cut this one short, but I love what you're saying. Like, let's say you got that 2-hour clip, right? You break it down into, let's just say 10 sections, okay? Like, these are the 10 sections of this clip that we all had the most fun with, right? And then you throw that up on YouTube. Now you gave that same individual who's watching your Twitch session a reason to go check out your YouTube, and vice versa. That viewer that's on YouTube, you're like, so what is this actually, like, what's going on here? Like, what are these guys doing?
Right.
Like, you give them that product, you know what I mean? That entertainment that they're seeking, or whatever reason why they're on there. That idea, whatever. And to me, like, integrating that onto your knowledge of that audio or those programs that you have, like, to me, that's ingenious. Like, I definitely want to be a part of that. And I'd love to see more of that. What can we turn this into, you know what I mean? Like, I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but unless there's anything else that you want to add.
No, I think it's pretty good as an intro thing. So, yeah, we can start talking we can get into the details and nitty-gritty next week.
Alright, that sounds great to me, man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Again, my name's Sidekick Lefty. You can find me on YouTube, Sidekick Lefty, all one word. And again, I'm on Twitch, the same thing, Sidekick Lefty. And this is my buddy Andy.
Yeah, so so it's Twitch, it's Orion's Armpit, or I'm on YouTube. You can find me under Orion's Armpit, but you can also, our D&D game is DNDgens. So it's D, the letter N, and then Degens, like the beginning of degenerate. If you've ever watched Letterkenny, that's where the joke is from. Yeah, but that's where you can find us on YouTube.
So, alright, well, guys, again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. If you want to see more, we're definitely going to try to post things like this at least once a week. Hopefully, again, we got to mess around that schedule, but this is what we're shooting for. So, again, thank you again, and we're going to call this one an end. So, see you around, everybody.
Adios.